You hear the crack of the whip, followed by the screams. Again and again, each swing harder and louder than the one before it. Familiar voices mirror the beatings, pleading for it to stop. It feels like the sound alone could tear open your own back, like your own blood is seeping down your own unhealed scars. The crack of the whip continues, but all the screams, all the pleading, everything else, suddenly stops. You're a slave. Your body, your time, your very breath belongs to a farmer in 1850s Maryland. 6 long days a week you tend to his fields and make him rich. You have never tasted freedom. You never expect to. Most slaves chose not to run away. Historians estimate that only a fraction fled slavery. Millions more lived in bondage. But after walking up to where the beatings had taken place, after looking up to the unseeing eyes of your son, a noose around his broken neck, his body hanging in the tree, you hear his voice pleading with you, begging you to promise you'd escape if you could. You'd heard one way. The price for getting caught was high, a reminder of that lay in front of you, swinging slowly in the wind. But you had nothing left to lose. You'll leave tonight. What would you do? Moses has come. You've heard the stories of her. She is Harriet Tubman, a former slave who ran away from a nearby plantation in 1849, but returns to rescue others. Guided by her visions, she never lost a passenger. And though there's no room in her group, she tells you how to follow the North Star to freedom in Canada. That'll have to be enough. She tells you to cross the bridge over the Choptank River, and where to find friends in a place called Delaware. Your head says go, your feet say no, but you reach Camden, Delaware. Harriet Tubman told you a lantern on the hitching post means it's a safe house. But can you really knock on a white family's door and trust them to help you? What would you do? A warm welcome and hot food. That's what wait for you inside the house. Guided by their conscience, the owners break the law by helping runaways, yet terror still haunts you. As you fall asleep, you hear the bloodhounds not so far away. They're looking for fugitives. They're looking for you. Freedom is a long way off. Further on your path to freedom, you reach Wilmington, a city like you've never seen before. Your host, a Quaker businessman named Thomas Garrett, smiles gently and promises you to see much bigger cities before you reach Canada. A good friend of Tubman's, Garrett has worked on the Underground Railroad for almost 40 years, and though a few years ago he was arrested and fined $5,400, it didn't stop him for a minute. Born free, William Still is a successful, confident merchant and a leader in the fight against slavery. He can read and write, skills denied you, and takes careful notes about your journey. Watching your deep, joyous breaths of the free air in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, he cautions you not to get too giddy. You've reached a free state, it's true, but United States law still sees you as a master's property, and bounty hunters are everywhere. He helps you get ready for another long stretch of travel. Weeks of trudging, including a grueling passage of almost 250 miles through the Appalachian Mountains, have brought you to Rochester. Perhaps you'll catch a glimpse of the fugitive Frederick Douglass, the fiery speaker who publishes the North Star, an abolitionist paper. You meet with another noted citizen activist, Susan B. Anthony. She and her anti-slavery friends give you warm clothes for the hard Canadian climate and make sure you're taken safely to Lake Erie. Agents of the Underground Railroad seem generally to have encouraged their passengers to press on to Canada, which refuses to extradite fugitives. Northern cities in the United States may have felt safe, but it was a gamble. The Fugitive Slave Act, made much harsher in 1850, allowed slave owners to hunt for runaways anywhere in the country. Police and courts were required to help. What would you do?